What's going on, guys? This podcast is brought to you by Marek Health, and I have been working with them for some time now. Now, originally, I got a whole host of blood markers checked. I had my hormones optimized. I had everything explained to me that was going wrong, that we needed to fix. And to be honest with you, this is just something that a regular doctor, family doctor, or most traditional doctors don't want to do, don't want to recommend, or even more so, just don't understand. This is my page. This is the RBP page at marekhealth.com. If you check it out, you see the different lab panels or checkup panels that you can get. Listen, one of the things that is so important about Marek is they treat everybody individually. No two people are the same, and no two people are going to get the same recommendations. This is not a cookie cutter system. This is very individualized, and that is the most important. You're not going to get this type of nuance in any other place that you go to, and that's why I've chosen them to work with. This is about taking a completely healthy athlete and optimizing their nutrition and optimizing their health, optimizing their hormones to make sure they can succeed faster and better than the average guy who does not know what's going on with their body. Guys, check out marekhealth.com/RBP. Use code RBP at checkout and learn how to get your body in sync so you can keep growing and keep being the best you can be. Milos, how are you, sir? It's been a long time since you've been on the show.
Yes, great, Fouad. Good to see you. Always love being on the show. Love hearing your opinions. You're a straight shooter, so we are in the same team as far as Mr. Olympia coming up.
Yeah, that's right.
We have a lot of things to talk about.
What's up, Milos? What's up, Fouad?
Ross,
Ross.
How are you, man?
I'm amazing.
That necklace is incredible. Is that diamond? Is that all diamond, or is it just silver?
Yes, this is liberal blood diamond from Liberal Tears.
It goes well with your pink shirt.
It's
this amazing lavender Project AD shirt.
It is a nice shirt. It's a nice color. It is, and you know what? It makes you look very like Metro.
Well, I do live in Austin, Fouad.
Oh, that's right. So you're very liberal. How do you feel about all the new liberal invasion?
Do you know? It used to bother me a lot, like just seeing the extreme stuff. But after if you just turn it off, the city's amazing. And it's like I got to a point where I can't control what other people do and think. Yeah. So it doesn't really make sense to me to waste my energy.
I've never I apologize to anybody in Austin. I've never been there. I just heard it's like become California. It's become like Los Angeles in Texas.
It's something.
Yeah.
Hey,
Roman, how are you?
Hey. Good. Thanks.
Roman,
how are you guys?
Are you going hard on the melanotan?
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah, awesome color, man.
He looks like a sardine.
Yeah. It's like you already got protein on. You're ready to go. You don't even need any color. You don't even need any paint. Be ready.
Yeah, I figured because for some reason in Europe, the spray tanning people.
Yeah.
I've had such bad experiences with them.
Which one do you normally use?
Whatever is available at the show.
Oh, okay.
You know? And I think honestly, it doesn't matter if it's Protan or whatever who sponsors the show. They just take like random girls off the street.
Yeah, they're not like professionals that are there to like really spray you properly.
So last time I was there with Brad Wilkin.
Yeah.
And she's the girl that sprayed us. We almost looked the same going out as we looked going in.
Oh, it was like not that dark.
So he was like, "Do you think I'm dark enough?" And I said, "No." "Do you think I am?" "No." So we went back.
Yeah.
And I said, because in Romania they don't have money. I said, "Look, here's $100. Spray us again."
Yeah.
And she went, "Yeah, okay." Then we got
good color,
extra dark. Okay.
Just gotta line their pockets a little bit. Ross, what are you eating?
I'm actually eating the Nick Walker bowl.
What is it?
There's 2 of my sauces: sriracha maple vinaigrette, sweet poppy, and then pineapple and almond butter. It's fucking delicious.
That sounds
with some chicken.
So the chicken is the smallest part of the deal, the meal.
Yeah, just 2 ounces. You know.
What are you?
I'm too big.
Are you reverse dieting right now, or what are you doing? Are you doing another show?
No. I'm taking a little break from a little vacation. I'm actually going to Cabo tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, for 2 days. Dom, my coach, is making me. So once I get back, then it's prep for the Olympia. Try to get a little bigger, and for like 11 weeks, and then we'll cut at 11 weeks out.
Ross, how old are you?
32. Well, I identify as 32.
I'm 30.
This is going to be good. This is going to be good.
I have coffee here, so I may be a little juiced up.
No, it's okay. I like that. 32.
I didn't see Milos was in the chat also. Hi.
Hey, you didn't see me?
Ross, do you?
No, I only saw Ross, and then I switched over to the 4 screen.
Oh, now you can see it. Yeah.
And now I saw,
Yeah, say hello right away.
yeah.
But
sorry.
question, are you really using it
apologize.
on the 10 too? Are you
Yeah.
using it? I mean, first time I used it, first my hands became like a black gloves, and I turned green. I mean, it was dark, but it was not natural, you know. And then the other thing is, I was getting a boner for no reason anywhere I went. You know, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but these guys like that. They got why? Like Roman has sex every single day. He has to.
Nothing wrong with that, but
no, you guys don't know this about Roman. Roman, tell him, Roman.
Oh yeah. So my wife, to make us to keep our relationship intact, so to speak, she makes us have sex every day, no matter what happens. Now we even have an app now. It's called Flat-tastic, where you schedule different chores during the day. So clean out the dishwasher, vacuum and all that shit. So she gives out the chores.
Yeah.
And a daily chore in the app to remind us is to have sex. And then you have to like click it.
So do you do the chore first and then you have sex, or is it just to remind you to have sex?
Or is the chore sex?
Or is the
No,
that's the chore now,
not
bro.
a chore, obviously not. Okay. But we just have to. It has to be done at the end of the day, or the app will complain.
So you're using the app instead of chores. You're using it for sex.
Yeah, we're doing.
You're doing the chores too.
The chores also. Yeah.
So Roman, so if one of the chores says clean my cat box, what does that mean for you?
He cleans the cat box, but then
which box? Which cat box?
Yeah, but we don't have a cat, so I know what it.
He's gonna.
Hold on, your wife doesn't have a cat.
He's missing He's missing.
Your wife doesn't have a cat box.
The lost in translation, dude.
I know. I love it.
No, I understand.
Oh, okay.
I understand.
Okay.
What is
There's no. I can't confuse it with anything else because there's no cat in the house.
Okay.
How is that app going? Like alarming? Achtung, Achtung.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sex bitte.
No, but guys, like Ross and Milos, I know it's hilarious, but honestly, Roman told me even when they're fighting, it doesn't matter. They have
yes.
Even Roman, even like 2 weeks out of a show.
Even
like, how does your dick work? My dick has been
the
like
morning before the morning before the show.
She couldn't at least wait till you were done competing.
No, I said at the last show in Spain, I said I can do a blowjob now, but I can't do anything else.
You look kind of flat, man.
Why? Maybe that's why you're flat on stage. Maybe you should wait till after the show. Fucking Roman, I missed you, dude. I hope you're doing good. How have you been, man? We haven't talked in a long time.
Oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. I have a new supplement sponsor.
Who is it?
That's good.
Who is it?
They're in Germany. They're called Big Zone.
Okay. They treating you good?
Yeah, they've been around here since 1995.
Oh fuck, that's good. Been around for a while.
That's quite a thing. And yeah, they're treating me good.
Good. That's good to hear, man. I'm glad.
Thanks. And I also have a sponsor for meats.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
So you get all your meat sent for free?
Yes, and you know what kind of
The diet,
man,
yeah.
that's
It's probably saving you like $2,000 a month.
yeah.
Milo,
They're called Planet Food because they also have like other stuff that I don't order, but they started as Planet Meat and then they introduced extra items. But I'm only interested in the beef and all that.
Milos, how these guys all now have, not to make myself sound old, but these guys all have food sponsors now. How nice would it have been to have a food sponsor? They all, Trifecta or Fuel Meal or whatever all these different companies are. They all have food.
I don't have one.
Well, yours is condiments. It's
you are one, right? Aren't you?
We have a sauces.
But guys, I need a protein to put, the sauce on. So I'm open for sponsorship.
Ross is looking for food sponsor. Ross, sorry, Milos, before you answer that, Ross, you're doing condiments and you're doing the Flavor Gang, like the creamer.
I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have like 30 businesses.
No, I know, but as far as food goes.
Oh yeah, Flavor Gang, and then I got a restaurant like an hour south of where I am.
But do you what's all the different foods I don't want you to name all of them.
Flavor Gang
categories that you do is like cream of rice,
sauces, cereals, spices, coffee, and then a new entity we're doing a low calorie edible cookie dough.
Low calorie edible cookie dough. That sounds good.
Yep, it's dank.
I tried your cream of rice. Ben Chow gave me some, and I even used it for the last show, the Carb Up On, because he gave me some extra bags, and it's awesome. It tastes awesome.
Yes, it is.
I had the berry something.
Blackberry.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are these other? I'm curious. What are these other 30 businesses you're doing?
Oh, you really want to go down that hole?
Well, I'd like to know. I'd like to know a few of them.
Yeah.
Give me the main ones, not the ones that are like.
Okay, well, I have a coaching business. That's like my main thing, but starting this food licensing business. When you buy a product and it says like gluten-free or vegan or certified keto.
Yeah,
I have one coming out called True K-Cal, and it's the exact decimal point number of calories per serving in the product. The FDA makes food companies round up and down.
Yeah.
So mustard could be 10 calories or could be 0 calories. Mine
it's that big. It's that big a discrepancy.
Yeah. So we partnered with a lab, and we submit food products, and then it shoots out the exact like 6.53 calories per serving. So the consumer knows exactly how many calories they're actually eating.
So do you think the average person cares about that, or is this more geared to competitors? And
this is going to be a functional foods and supplements until we go like big mainstream, because I do think people would actually care about it.
Well, I think people are getting more and more health conscious, so it will be something that I think 10 calories is if you're counting calories through the day, 10 calories per serving is a big discrepancy.
Yeah. So like on ours, we have a sauce called Sweet Poppy.
Yeah.
It's on the label. The FDA label is 10 calories, but through our True K-Cal system, it's 6.56 calories. So
yeah.
And it'll have like the exact icon and the number. So it'll help out everyone. Okay.
Coaching, you get the calorie business. Well, the calorie labeling business. What else? Yep. Give me another one.
I'm starting a shoe brand.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Like a bodybuilding shoe, or like everything shoe, like a streetwear?
No. So you have like sneakerheads.
Yep.
Like people love Jordans.
Yep.
Well, I'm like a functional footwear, right?
So like Jordans, but that you can actually like train with.
Yep.
Okay. Are these things, when you decide to start a business, is this something you're passionate about, or is this something that you're like, the market needs this?
Both. This is like, they always happen in prep.
Yeah.
And I'll see a void or need, and then immediately have an idea, and I'm like, I need to go down a rabbit hole, and then we just have like brain sessions.
So let me ask you this: are you more? Because I always find it interesting with entrepreneurs and business people. Are you more interested in growing businesses, or are you more interested in the actual product, or is it both for these?
It's both, and it's mainly like an addiction to accomplishing producing my thoughts.
Okay. Okay, I understand that. But let me ask you this. So where's the completion of the thought? So let's say you're like, I want to start a shoe. I think it'll be cool. And then you start the business, you produce the shoe. Where is the point where you're like, okay, I completed that? Is it like when you start doing $1 million in sales, $10 million in sales?
When probably I'm hands off.
Okay. So it's running itself.
Yeah. When it's running itself and I can just be a brain and just create things.
How many businesses do you have where you're like the hands-off guy?
Pretty much all of them except for those new ones.
Good. So you're feeling pretty successful, I guess, or you've completed a lot of the ones you've come up with.
They're all at stages where they're just, or in like that organic growth phase.
So your completion or success, feeling of success is not related to sales.
No. I'm not a money motivated guy.
Is that something I'm doing wrong? Because
no, not at all.
Because HOSSTILE is running and HOSSTILE is doing well and we grow every month, but I have a number in my head where I'm like, okay, this is where I want it to be. Do you think other business people work that way, or is it more like you said?
Oh yeah, for sure. I just had dinner with my friend and last night, and he's like, I'm so motivated by money, and I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
chase that. Whatever you're motivated, fucking attack that.
I don't know if it's motivated by money. I think it's more, to me, it's more success of the company. So like, if you said to me like, what's a successful supplement company? I would say $50 million.
Okay.
Or $25 million in sales a year, something like that. I would be like, okay, that's a successful supplement company that's doing well. I mean, it's not that like a $10 million supplement company wouldn't be successful. I'm just saying, to me, that measure of like ultimate, like, you know, if you're a bodybuilder and you say, I want to win a show, that's like a success point that you reach. So for me, I have like points along the way that are marked by numbers.
So I guess for me, I would say, instead of focusing on a $50 million business, I would want like a 25, but more impact. So like, I would feel like more accomplished if my business was successful monetary wise, but the impact on the business was like far greater than any profit.
You mean impact in the industry that you're selling in? For
example, like your podcast.
Yes.
You make X amount of dollars per month from sponsorships, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right. Which is awesome. But when people come up to you, like I was watching the last podcast and you had some dude cry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that. If let's say your podcast brings in $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
And people cry about that.
Yeah.
I think that's more valuable than doing 30,000 and no one cries.
Okay. So I have to agree with you 1,000%. You're right. They're connected. There's no like, if you're having, so that's why we built this up, built HOSSTILE the way we did, because if it was just a numbers game, we would have built like less efficacious doses and just made bigger margins and been like, okay, let's just pump this stuff out the door and not worry if anybody actually is feeling it. And let's get to that like $100 million number. Mm-hmm. But you're right. The impact matters, and like what you're actually doing in your said industry is equally as important.
I think if you focus around the things that get you to $50 million versus focusing just on the $50 million, that's the better route.
I think I worded it wrong. You definitely put it more eloquently than I did. It's not actually the number. You're right. It's the impact you're having that got you to that number, which is actually more important. Yeah, you're right. The number without the impact is meaningless to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Milos, I'm sorry. I asked you a question and then took away from you.
Yeah. I'll answer that question, but I had to jump in. Ross, I'm super impressed with your 30 businesses, but then I catch that you're not money motivated. So why would you start 30 businesses and spread yourself all over the place in the midst of your pro bodybuilding career that you want to make it to the Olympia and all that stuff? So you're starting every business for one purpose, probably only to make money. I mean, we're all passionate about some things, but if you're not going to make money, then what's the point of being an entrepreneur and starting that business?
Oh, for sure.
Not that I'm a businessman, because I think that I'm probably worse in the whole industry, but I just catch that. Anyway, Ross, you impressed the hell out of me. I sent you that message the other day.
Slid in my DMs, everyone.
Because let me put it this way. I'll tell you this, Fouad and Roman. I didn't even realize it was actually you, because last time I've seen you was at Dragon's Lair when you posed with my guy.
Pose down.
Yeah, and
Hey, fuck you, by the way. That was horrible.
What happened?
Dude, I had just gotten off this horrible flight. This was like 26-hour flight.
All right, come on.
Delays. And then
let's cry on the Fouad's podcast.
No. Tell me what happened.
No, okay. So first off, it was an amazing experience posing down with his client in front of Milos. Okay, that was amazing. But just to fuck you, because I was dog shit tired, like a horrible flight experience. And then went right to Dragon's Lair, and then we walked in, and Dom was like, Milos, and then Milos immediately said, "Drop your pants, let's pose down." And I'm like, oh my god.
Of course.
It was awesome.
Who was your client that you made him pose with?
Diogo Nunes.
Yeah.
But put it this way, I mean, again, I'm a fan of the sport. Now here it is. He's competing, I don't know, in like a week or something. First time I've seen him. Of course I want to check it out, and I might as well, put it on the camera. And so
you're the only guy that can get away with that, Milos. Nobody else. If anybody else said, "Hey, pose down," they'd be like, "Fuck off, I'm not posing."
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to challenge yourself at all times? And if your job as a bodybuilder, week out of the show, if you don't want to strip off week out of the show, then there's a problem. You're not in shape. You don't have a confidence. Then might as well don't even compete.
No, I think it's beneficial too, because if they're standing with someone like you, then there might be a posing tweak or something that you might offer that can help them.
Yeah, I would always do that. But just speaking of a physique that you presented there, and now I've seen you winning the couch. I didn't even put two and two together. That's you. And I said, hold on a second, Ross Flanning, and that sounds like what happened?
No, you're still talking. I want to show people what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that was you until like, God damn, he improved tremendously. Before you were all bottom heavy, and upper body was really screaming for some size. Now look at that picture.
Yeah, Jesus, very good, very good.
Yeah.
So very impressive.
Conditioning was off the chart. I mean, seriously off the chart. I talked to Jay and manager Matt, and I pulled some other photo, back double biceps pose. I sent you that, Ross.
Yep.
I was super impressed with that one. So now imagine 15 pounds more and that kind of structure and this kind of conditioning, this kind of width, a little bit fuller chest, and you're in business, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know, but for people who didn't hear, Ross was 229 in Toronto.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, being 229 and beating guys like Robin Strand and Joe Seaman, who are like between 250 and 275, is impressive. And that's a testament to your shape and conditioning, obviously, because you're being outweighed by 20, 30 pounds.
Yep.
But it's like I said to you backstage, I think I said the same thing Milo said. I said 10 more pounds. And
man.
Yeah, like 240 with that, as long as you keep your shape. Because one of the things, like,
you can't blow it out. Yeah.
Yeah, like I hate going back to my own shit, but like when I weighed in at like 238, I had a similar, like I was happy with my aesthetics. But they kept saying get bigger, get bigger, get bigger. And I don't think my physique wanted to. So I forced it, and it blew out my midsection, and then it ruins your lines. So if you can pack on that 10 pounds while still keeping your lines, it's going to be really, really impressive.
That's the goal, man.
I mean, yeah. So I was going to wait to go on to this, but since we're on it now, you are in your second year competing as a pro, and you already got your first pro win, which is really, really, and you beat Tonio. Was that controversial decision for you, or were people at the show like, this is pretty decided?
No, it was. So it's funny. I used to hate hearing the phrase, you have to be there.
Yeah, I know.
I used to hate it. I'm like, then why the fuck are we taking pictures?
I know.
But now I'm that and Toronto, doing those shows back to back, and even seeing Ian backstage versus the pictures, and Hassan too, and myself. Pictures and live stream, it just doesn't catch. There's something about like the live eye that you can see the muscles gliding on the skin. You see different roundness, different dimensions that you just can't see on a phone.
Yeah.
So I will forever shut up on that phrase. You have to be there to see it for sure.
Yeah, because we looked at the Cali. So on this podcast, I think right after the Cali show, we looked at the pictures.
Yep.
And I had Paul and Jose on, and they're both judges. And I was like, "What do you guys think?" And they're like, "Well,
sorry, Fouad, to cut you off. Those were the pre-judging pictures.
Yeah, and I know you look better at night.
The
right?
night show, I actually beat Tonio, I think, by 2 points in the night show.
Yeah.
I looked totally different. I was harder, fuller, drier.
Yeah, and I know that, but I think the point I was getting to is even those guys, since they're judges, they specifically were like, "Look, we're going to give you our opinion, but this is based on photo. It's not," because I think if anybody who's been to a show, they see the difference. If you haven't been to a bodybuilding show, you probably have the same opinion I had a while back, or because I even used to say the same thing, Ross. I would be like, "Well, I got pictures, I got video in front of me. It's not any different." But Milos, how do you feel about that? Is there a drastic difference in person?
Listen, not just at the show. If you're a videotaping guy that is posing right in front of you, and you look at him, it's like, oh, hell yes. And then you look at the video right here in front of you. Hold on a second. It was lost in translation right there on the spot. So I learned my lesson many times before. I made a judgment off of a video, and then especially like Arnold Classic UK, when I didn't think that James Hollinsted was in any great condition, what I've seen on the video, until I've seen a high resolution video. And then I heard that in person, he was even more ripped, like, oh shit. Yeah. So you really have to put this with a grain of salt. What we can see is we kind of see, Ross, I've seen you live. Now you shocked me, but I haven't seen you in front, but all the reports was Ross is peeled out of his mind.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
really?
Yeah. One of the things I realized was because everything looks better in person, I thought, okay, if he's this shredded in the photos, then that must be like insane in person.
So, Fouad, what did you think when you look at prejudging photos, conditioning wise, Ross and Tonio? Was it like a big difference? For me, there was, okay, they're very similar, maybe Ross by a tad notch, but not like, whoa.
So this is what I thought when I looked at the photos. I thought Tonio had him beat, and these are prejudging photos, by the way. I don't think I saw finals photos. Tonio had him beat in the roundness and development of the muscle. Like maybe the shoulder was a little bit rounder. Like some of the insertions and some of the insertions that Tonio has are incredible. Like his physique is put together very well. But in saying that, Ross's shape is also beautiful. Yeah. So it was like, okay, I got two guys with great shape. One guy's a little bit more developed, but one guy looks like he's much harder. So then it's up to the judges, right? And then you have to say, okay, well, I'm not there, so I can't tell exactly what it looks like. And if he came back at night fuller, then that might have made up the size difference and the roundness that he was missing in the prejudging photos. So I reserve judgment now when I see things like that, because I'm like, if it's very close, I feel like it's hard to make a judgment unless you're sitting there. Yeah. How did you see it?
How do you see, Ross? You're going to Toronto. Was your Toronto condition equal as California, or you lost a notch?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I may have been a little lean. It's hard to tell because I'm still learning the difference between how like the level of body fat and being full and dry and flat.
Yeah.
Because that can change. Like, so let's say I was 3% body fat, but I was fuller
in California
on one day and flatter on the other day. The level of body fat is still the same, but the appearance is different. So it's hard to actually tell.
No, that's a good that's a good point that you brought that up, because a lot of people, I think, mistake flatness for conditioning. Right? Yeah. They're like, oh, that guy's not in shape. Well, it might be he is in shape, but the muscle's not pushing against the skin. So it doesn't look.
Sorry to jump in. You said you see him backstage. You said backstage, Hassan and Jan. So if you're the judge, how would you judge it? What did you see? Who impressed you more?
Oh man, between us three or just the top two?
Yeah, the three of you. Yeah, sorry, I didn't include you.
Hassan's muscles they're like abnormal. They're like alien.
Yeah.
He has so much depth to his muscles, 3D muscle, round, full. They just hang off his body. But I think his conditioning could be much better and his posing could be much better. Ian, I think, was a good middle ground between mass, condition, shape. I think I was definitely leaner than all three of them, but I definitely lacked upper body thickness, especially in the back compared to them. Like I was looking at the back lat spread and I'm just getting dwarfed in width and thickness.
I would agree with that, Milos. I was sitting right behind the judges.
Oh,
I think everything he said, I was right. I was one row behind him. I think everything Ross just said is pretty accurate. I mean, Hassan is out of this world muscularity. Like it's everything. It's so, his physique is jam packed. There's nowhere else you can put muscle. But I think conditioning wise, Ian was a level ahead, and shape wise, Ross actually put it very well. He was kind of a middle ground. Yeah. Almost between Ross and Hassan. He maybe not as muscular as Hassan, but still carried the same shape and condition that Ross had, or close to it. So he kind of like checked all the boxes, right? What did you think when you looked at photos?
Well, listen, if I analyze pose by pose, I can see the argument of Hassan winning. You know, but here, if you look at, like I said, pose by pose,
sure.
Side chest, side triceps, while Ian is very good on those two poses, right? There's so much thickness, you know, the chest and shoulders and everything happening on the Hassan. So, as I said many times, Ian doesn't have a great chest, but he looks great in side chest pose. And looks great in side triceps pose. His leg, hamstring, glutes, you know, it's ridiculous. Then teeny tiny waist, super flat stomach, and then the way he angles himself, think of beauty. But even in those poses, like I said, hold on a second. Now I have to, you know, honestly assess. I've seen Hassan beating him. Now, back double biceps, back lat spread. This could go, you know, Hassan's way as well. You know, and I love Ian's structure way better. Ian is just like that perfect, like a wide shoulders, small waist, sweeping thighs. You know, everything is happening. You can't deny it. He was conditioned enough. He was big enough, yes. But then if you zoom it and then you look, you could see that chest flatness and that thing that is starting to happen. It was visible in most muscular poses.
So let's take a look. Milos. So when you look at this shot, and like we've already established that the conditioning is not showing through in photos for sure.
Yeah.
But if we took the conditioning out of it, what do you see? Because I don't see a flat chest here.
Here, so yeah, in this pose, and Ian wins this pose hands down. I mean, you know, that V-taper is, you know, X-frame, sweeping.
And that's one of the things, Milos, that I think, in my opinion, there was two things that held Hassan back. It was one, that he needs a little bit more taper, because he has actually very narrow clavicles. He's not very wide. And then his waist doesn't come in a lot. So I feel like shape is what carried Ian over, and then condition. Yeah. So
I mean, listen, I said that I've seen him winning, you know, not just pose by pose.
What do you think?
Biceps.
What do you think here, Milos?
I mean, in this shot, Ross won.
You know, so?
Yeah, come on. That detail. I mean, look at that. I mean,
see, I would go back to what Ross said, which is
it doesn't have enough thickness.
Hear me out. This is mass, right? This is mass. This is condition. This is the middle.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's how I would look at it.
Yeah, and again, if judges give it to Ian, no problem. But it's not slam dunk, you know, lights out. I won't dispose. I mean,
listen, the whole show wasn't slam dunk. I think Ian won decisively, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah,
like Hassan pushed him.
Yeah, Ian has a stage presence. He does pretty much everything perfect in between poses. The way he gets in a pose, in between poses, moving, right? I mean, this is thing of beauty as well. Look at the teeny tiny waist, flaring lats, you know, tiny, everything's happening. I mean, he's master of presentation here. And then he moves into the poses. Phil Heath lost to Sean Roden not on the poses, but on the movement between poses. And this is how I see also Hassan. They were saying midsection, midsection, midsection. If he kept the midsection in, because when he hits the ab shot, he has a better abs than Jan.
No, definitely not.
Find it.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
100% yes.
Listen, 100%
better abs than Jan.
Milos, 100% you're wrong.
Okay, find it.
Okay, wait. No. This is why I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
And I'm not biased coach.
No, I'm trying, and I'm trying not to be biased friend.
Yeah.
Sitting one row back. The problem with Hassan's abs when he flexes down to do the ab and thigh, they slope, so they come out at the bottom. Whereas Ian, when he does that ab and thigh, it's very, very flat.
First of all, Jan doesn't even hit the ab and thigh. He does for microsecond and then turns into the intercostal.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So let's call a spade a spade. And he has a small waist, right? But doesn't have a deep abs. Hassan has a deep abs. If Hassan knows to blow it out and push the muscle in, not out.
Yeah, but you're saying if, not, you're not saying what happened.
But he did it. I've seen the videos. I mean, I encourage you to find it.
I'm trying to right now.
So if you find it, first of all, Hassan's legs are off the chart, and in the ab and thigh shot, you can't really see that zero V taper. You know, it's not great, but there is many guys, including let's say Flex Wheeler, when he does a ab and thigh shot, he's straight up and down. There's no flare whatsoever. So abs by itself, I guarantee you this. He would beat Jan in the abs department, especially if he does it correctly. You know, every time
but you keep saying if he does it correctly.
I've seen the video. I've seen the video shortly. So if you find it,
I'm trying to find an ab and thigh shot right now.
Yeah. Look, I love Jan's shape way better.
It doesn't sound like it.
I wouldn't say it if
I'm just joking. Listen, I love bodybuilding debate. It's fun.
I'm telling you.
I'm just trying to find the fucking show pics that are like
If you do the video, I watched the video. Hassan's fault is stupidity.
Wait. I think I got something.
What are you looking at? Right here?
Okay. Front double. What do you see?
Jan, miles away.
But it's like people. This is a thing. Let's explain to people. Tons of muscle, right?
Yeah. But, zero V taper.
But the overall shape is the problem.
Yeah, overall shape.
Right.
Jan's arms are good, peaking biceps. You can't really see his chest is super flat, but you can't really see in this pose. So he can get away with it. Last spread, Jan all the way.
Yeah, I mean, look.
You know what I'm wondering? Sorry. You know what I'm wondering? When Hassan hits the double bicep.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he not able to pull in his stomach like at all?
I mean, look, even the front relaxed.
Okay.
I mean, is he because I can see how I know exactly what Ian feels like, how he pulls his stomach in, like under his rib cage and his belly button to the spine. Yeah. But is Hassan not able to do that at all? Like it's like just bulging out.
Listen, I'll tell you from my own. I don't know how Hassan feels. We have to ask him. But from my own experience, if you have a thicker stomach, you just can't do it. Like if you're not practicing your vacuums every day, and you're not like really working on getting that in, it's not easy to do for guys like with a thicker midsection.
You know what Marcus Rule once said in a seminar, that when he won the 2002 Night of Champions, he knew that Weinberger would look at his stomach the whole time, looking for an excuse to not give it to him.
Yeah.
He said he knew that.
Yeah.
And he kept his stomach tight the whole prejudging, all through the finals. And although he won the show, he said that was the worst night, one of the worst nights of his life, because his stomach was cramping so bad after the show.
He
was in so much pain the whole night from holding his stomach in for hours.
Yeah,
that's pathetic. Hold on. And I love Marcus.
It is
But
pathetic.
this is pathetic that, okay, you're supposed to keep your stomach in 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. What is this? No, I'm gonna, oh my God, this was horrible. You want to hang
Milos, in Marcus's defense, he was much bigger than you were.
You see my 99 version next to him? Put it out, man.
No, but seriously, we're talking about a guy who was like 280 pounds on stage.
I appreciate this, but for Hassan and Marcus and so many others, I mean, I don't want to mention again Nick Walker, but I'm going to mention him. Nick as a hater club. No, and I tell him always, glue that stomach to the spine, you know, and keep it like this all day long. I'm sure you heard many of my guys, they drive the car, stomach
holding
in,
the stomach,
on computer, stomach in. If this becomes a second nature to you, you're gonna have a nightmare overnight of the champions. Steve Weinberger is watching. You know, this is the way it's supposed to be.
Well, I'll tell you, Milos, I'll tell you just to touch on that. Luke, God rest his soul. In 2017, when we competed together, he was not in shape and his stomach was getting bigger at the show. And at the Arnold, he took I think he was 8th place or something like that. That off season, we would speak and he would be like, I'm doing vacuums all year long. He would do them in the morning when he woke. This is all off season, every single day. He would do them in the morning when he woke up, and he would do them after his 5th meal. So he could do them when his stomach was empty, and then he'd do them when his stomach was full. And you saw him when he came back and competed, he was pulling vacuums, doing his front double, and he ended up, I think, taking 2nd place or 3rd place at that Arnold. Third. Yeah. So you're right. People should be doing the vacuums all year to get that stomach in. I'm not saying you're wrong, but at that time in 2002, there was a period of like a decade or more where guys didn't give a shit, and the judges didn't give a shit. They're like, just get as big as you can. We don't care.
But here, I mean, this is bodybuilding podcast, and you know, all of us bodybuilders. Should that matter? I mean, would you let bodybuilders hang that stomach out and who cares?
No, Milos, I'm happy with the direction but this is what we're talking about. So when people say Hassan should have won, we're like, well, wait a minute. We're changing the direction. So we're looking at this and we go, okay, but this is the direction we want to go.
Okay. For sure. Listen, I said in a podcast that I was with Jay Cutler that Jan won deservingly. But when you look at this pose by pose, you know,
let's do it. Let's go pose by pose.
Yeah, let's do it. You know, so critic for Hassan, as you said, even
front double. Give me what you think.
Yeah, Ian won hands down, even though legs are formidable for Hassan. I mean, you got to give it to him. So see, right now, if you cover upper body and you just look at the legs, okay. I love that Ian is making those legs separated and holding them. This is the suggestion that I kept telling him. I know that before he would lose them and then he lose the whole picture of the dominance that he has. Here, the very competitive to crazy Hassan legs. But look at the VMO, look at the...
Can I touch on this for 1 second?
Sure.
And Ross, I don't know if you had a very good enough glimpse being backstage, but this is actually one of the things we talk about when you say you had to be there in person. This picture or video does not represent, like, these legs were hard as fucking nails. Like the separation in his quads was in, like, it's not a good representation of what it looked like in real life. So there's a lot more mass here, but the hardness and separation and size of his leg is not represented properly here in the video.
Okay. Yeah. He still wins.
Okay, let's move on.
He still wins. But just for Hassan to listen, okay, just please for a second, because a piece of advice. When you do the front double biceps, I don't know how all of you guys do it, but there are 2 things you can do, right? Lee Haney focus on spreading the lats as much out, right? And then arms come after, or you hit the arms first and you don't care about it's, you know, front double biceps, people are squeezing the biceps, not thinking of, pull the lats.
Yeah.
So there is the way, especially for the narrow guy like this, you have to stretch the stomach, because that's the time that you have to, you know, pull the waist in and pull the lats out. He has a huge arms. Even if you just hold them there, lift it up, who cares? He should focus on the lats out. Okay. I always like to put the biceps above the shoulders to create that peak and everything. Jan is doing, marvelous job. So Jan won that pose hands down.
Okay.
Second pose, last spread also no comparison.
Okay, let's wait till they're finished. I think they're both in the pose there.
Yeah.
Are you still good here, Milos? We're still good?
Yeah. Look at the V taper on shape, width, everything. And I can imagine that Ian's legs were way more ripped in person. I can imagine that. But, I'm watching this video and Hassan is looking pretty good. Now, here.
You see some of the...
Yeah, Ian did perfectly. He showed the small waist, crazy lats, and then hit the pose. Freeze there. Okay. So, freeze there.
Yep.
Muscle-wise, you see that Hassan is...
Yeah, he's definitely winning muscularity. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. And if Hassan actually played to his strengths, raised his chest a little bit even higher up.
Yep.
It would be even better. But here is when you can see Ian's middle chest happening. And I've seen this with a few guys. I wouldn't penalize him. Listen, this is another thing. Would I penalize him? Hey, when shit like this happened, that's out of guy's control. Dorian tore his biceps. Nobody pointed out. Okay, so let's forget when he does all the poses. We consider it's not your fault.
So
Here,
let me ask you a specific question, Milos. This shot you give to Hassan in muscularity, but do you give him the shot overall?
It would be yeah, I would still give it to Hassan. I was with saying that Ian does this formidable job. Legs look incredible, his glutes, tie-ins, everything, but Hassan,
upper body is very good. Yeah.
If he
does
what?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Roman.
You know what would look even more incredible? Because Hassan, he flexes his hamstring.
Yeah.
So the hamstring doesn't hang. But a second earlier, when he wasn't flexing it, when he was setting up the pose, his leg looked like. Can you rewind back or no?
I'd have to play the whole thing over again.
Okay, because his leg looked like double the size, and now imagine the fucking leg with the hamstring hanging down.
Well, and just so people can
would be like a truck wheel.
So people can understand what Roman's talking about. Ian's not flexing this; he's flexing his glute.
Yeah,
and he's letting the hamstring just hang down. Whereas you can see this is tightened up, and and Hassan is actually flexing the hamstring, so it makes it.
And he's not flexing his glute.
Yeah, he's doing the opposite of what Ian's doing.
Do you guys see that they're not actually locking the calf? I would make sure that heel is raised completely and you lock it.
Yeah.
It would create even more detail. Okay, now
just for people to say that, given like an instruction, what I do is I just lean. I lean on the leg that it's displaying. That's and then my calf flexes automatically.
Yeah.
My glute flexes automatically to not fall over, but my hamstring keeps hanging loose.
Oh, wait, you flex, you lean on the leg that's closer to the judges.
Yes. So I lean to the judges. That way my calf flexes, my hamstring hangs loose, and my ass has to flex so that I'm not falling over.
Yeah. I used to have the hardest time letting my hamstring drop, and now I know it's because I was leaning on the back leg.
Yeah, and I also pressed the show leg onto the rear leg.
Yeah.
You know how people in when they do a photo, they go like with their arms under their like this. Yeah, that's exactly what you do on a side chest. You push the one leg against the other leg.
Push it over the leg. Yeah.
Like Barry DeMay and Frank Zen do it with the triceps, right? When they push with the lat. But Kevin Lebroni was a master of that. Put the weight on the front leg.
The front leg,
yeah. Because that's when you can engage the fibers and the quads. You can actually see it. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, so people are saying Ian lost the back shots. Can you tell me what you think? I mean, I'll give you what I think after. Tell me what you think, Milos.
Well, listen, we know that the lower lat insertions was somewhat problematic. So he created the illusion here that nothing is wrong. He's just leaning backwards. And it looks good. It's 3D. It's coming at the judges. a lot of people like to do that. I mean, he made it super competitive and possibly even won the shot. For me, if I just look at the arms, shoulders, back, I mean, Hassan, even though he's narrow, he doesn't loses in width here.
Ross, what do you think?
Who won that shot?
Like, what do you think about this visual overall?
I mean, I think honestly, their posing takes away from their potential immensely.
Yeah. Well, how do you mean that? Because I have an idea what you're saying, but explain maybe what you're talking about.
So Hassan, if he could engage or relax his adductors, his legs would be thicker. I think his hips are rotated, so his back double is a little, it's not balanced. And then I think Ian, him crunching down instead of being more vertical like Hassan takes away from his back as well.
I was actually going to say that because people keep talking about him losing his lower lats. I actually don't think he's losing his lower lats. I think because he's so arched, you can't see his lower lats.
Yep.
Because if you watch when we go to the lat spread, you can see the back is still there and it inserts down here. But I think the way he poses is because it's so arched that you lose the bottom half of the lat. So
I don't know why a lot of people arch in the back of the biceps. I mean, slight so and so. I heard Steve Weiberger every time to Andrew Jack, to other guys that he was coaching. He told them to stay more upright. Don't lean into it. So
I think they try to lean. They want to lean, but they're actually like they're extending their back too much.
Yeah, arching.
They need to be like leaning as opposed to bending.
Let's go on. See, when you stop there, see the lat is there, like it's right here, right?
Yeah, you're right. But now when he puts the elbows back in, that's when you can see.
Oh, it just started over. Sorry, guys. That was it. You just got those poses.
Yeah.
We didn't get to the ab and thigh.
The one thing you're arguing about.
The debate rages on.
So I'll tell you this also. After the lat spread, that possibly Jan won because he's more V-tapered and wider. Yeah. And legs from the back were harder than Hassan's, even though calf is kind of missing, but he creates illusion. It doesn't matter, really. Yeah. They were always pointing out for Dennis Wolf, it didn't matter, really.
Yeah.
Now, side triceps. Hassan has all the muscles to look that pose completely freaky. And, he did 1 microsecond side triceps and then turn to the front triceps, which is ridiculous because he has a thick waist. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You stay there.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that. There. That's it. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, I thought it was strange that he was turning also because he's hiding his strengths.
Yeah.
So you see Ian's tricep is his arm's not the same size, obviously, as Hassan's, but because I think the shot looks better because he's got broad shoulders, tiny waist, really, really thick legs. Just overall, it's more pleasing to look at.
So what is Ross doing over there?
Yeah.
I don't know why Ross is doing
in a hurry.
Ross, why are you doing an ab and thigh?
I think that was just a transition. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I don't know. No clue.
You're the fucking best, man. Okay, there. Look. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, look how wrong you are. Look. So
look at abs.
Okay, abs are very thick, but they come outwards. Look at Ian's stomach. It goes in, and his intercostal.
He's facing east.
Listen, it doesn't matter. You can see that it's going inward.
Well, tell me the reason why somebody.
Okay, let me ask you this, Milos. Let me ask you this, Milos. Would you rather have this stomach or this stomach? That's what I thought.
No, I didn't talk about stomach. I talk about abs. Abs is a muscle. There is a 6-pack and deep.
Okay, the muscle, Hassan's ab muscle is definitely bigger, but the ab is connected to a stomach.
Listen, from very beginning, I was saying abs.
That's like saying who's got a. I don't want to name any names, but that's like saying a guy with like a huge stomach but really thick abs. That guy wins the ab and thigh. This isn't how it works.
Yeah, but
Marcus Rule and Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, who are you gonna pick? Marcus Rule's abs are this big, and
Or
Dexter's
Marcus Rule and Dennis Wolf.
There you go. Come on,
Because
Milos.
Dennis Wolf always had like very shallow abs.
We're not talking about the thickness of the ab muscle. We're talking about the waist itself and the muscle. It's
I
together.
was thinking about abs as a muscle.
Oh,
okay?
bullshit.
No, I see it.
You said it. You said it. No, no.
So
You
you're
said
gonna
it. No, you said he won the ab and thigh pose.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, I
Okay.
would give him that pose.
Okay,
Because
here, let's go back.
thighs are ridiculous, right? Okay, so
You- No.
here. I mean, even though this is, not.
Roman,
haven't-
Roman, you're a bodybuilding historian and almost, I would call you a bodybuilding expert. What do you think?
I think Milos is actually right, but
Okay.
Of course I am.
he's
Of course, I am.
but it's how he words it is correct. If Hassan posed his abs like Milos
Yeah, we said already.
posed his abs, then he would win hands down.
Yes, I'll agree with you. If
But he doesn't.
Yeah,
Wait,
Then on
but wait a
the
minute.
other hand,
this is
on
such
the other
this is such a stupid argument. You guys are basically saying if he had a small waist, he would win.
no. I'm not saying.
If I looked like Ronnie Coleman, I
Yeah.
would win the Olympia.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually giving it to Ian
Yes.
because he does look better. But
Okay.
if Hassan did it correctly,
Yeah.
then I would give it to him.
I would agree with you 100%. If Hassan could pull that waist inwards, that would be his pose hands down.
And I know what he does.
But that's a big if is all I'm saying.
I know what he does. Maybe Milos can confirm that. He just pushes his abs downwards, and then they come out.
Without pulling them in.
You
Yeah.
just pull it in
Yeah.
and then down.
Yeah.
The whole idea. Listen, now this is advice for everybody, and I've seen that Russ, you're doing it. You know how to do it. Roman, you know exactly the same thing. When it comes to any other muscle, any other pose, right? You can squeeze the stomach, completely. Most muscular shots and stuff like that. But when it comes to the ab shot, right? You want to basically kind of vacuum it and then squeeze. So you want to squeeze it in. You want to make it washboard. Yeah. And any little pushing out is gonna, with the guys with the big stomach, is gonna then create this illusion, and you lose the pose. For sure.
Can I interrupt? I just want to say, Ross, you have.
Ross?
I said something about the show, and I was breaking it down and competitor for competitor. I got to tell you, Ross, nobody made me want to get back on stage as much as you did. You're fucking the way you. It looks like you're enjoying being on stage.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
It was just like, here, look, I'll give you an example. Look at his face here.
Yes.
He's just going at it. He's like, fuck you, I'm going at it. He doesn't care.
The expression, the expression when he won the other show, that was so pure, and it was like just not just like I won, man, like cool, like Dexter Jackson would win a show. It was so like when you win the Super Bowl, like yes.
Dude,
but
this is
not,
the game.
Not when you win the Super Bowl as a player, but when you win the Super Bowl as a fan in the stands. They're like, yeah.
But for me, it wasn't like that. Obviously, was awesome to watch. But even watching like pose by pose is just like an aggressiveness and like a joy that makes you like, man, that guy looks like he's having a fucking good time. Like,
I fucking love it.
yeah, it's something. Okay, let's go through a couple shots and then we'll wrap up the Toronto section of this. Okay, so we have back double. Ross, this is insane fucking condition.
Yeah, look at that.
Thank you.
And your color is crazy too.
Yep. That's two things I wanted to fix from last year was
this photo actually demonstrates the hardness that I was talking about. Like, see, Hassan needs a little bit more. This actually is a pretty good representation of what Ian looked like. But you can see here how like the back is there, but he's almost like leaning too far into it rather than staying more like upright.
Yeah.
Back lat spread. And here you can kind of see what Ross is saying here about needing just a little bit more mass up here, especially when you're standing next to Hassan. I mean, look at his fucking lats. Yeah. Hassan is is
Okay,
really
so look at Hassan's lats. Okay, so it's quite wide. It's not so bad, right?
Yeah.
But from the front, he doesn't show it. He puts the same hands
No.
like this, exactly the same, this fucking thing, right? And puts it. He's supposed to push that waist in.
Well,
right?
that rolled knuckle thing,
Hmm?
that works to help open your lats from the back. But from the front, it actually makes your arms hide your lats.
Yeah, that's what
So
Hassan does from the
yeah,
front.
you can't do it from the front. But also, it's different, man. Hassan from the front, like I said, because he doesn't have that taper, it also hides the thickness of the lats.
Yeah, but so he needs to make his waist look smaller.
He's a vacuum.
That's wider. So how do you do that? Arms are going to cover it if you keep it down. So you have to open up, inhale, chest up to the chin, right?
Yeah.
And then open up and make your waist smaller. I used to look at my lat spread. I would push my waist to be even smaller.
Yeah.
I would push it all the way in.
Force it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if Hassan gets like 5% sharper and he adjusts his posing just a little bit, I think he's into the Olympia, no problem.
Yeah. But here, for me, Ian dominated presentation. Stage presence, he would draw the eyes on him by just everything that he was doing. Hassan would be hit the pose, relax, turn, adjust, hit the pose, relax.
Yep.
No, you have to work it off from the beginning to the end. And I mean, Ian does that. Show the lats, blows it out, then show the crazy stomach and waist from the side. I mean, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. It's just professionalism in time. I think Hassan will start to get that as he competes more, but maybe still focusing on, I think Hassan is still trying to find that balance between being very shredded and being very full, because he's yet to find the perfect balance. Because last year he was shredded, but he was a little bit flat. This year he was full, but a little bit softer. So he's got to find that like in between. What's going on, guys? I want to let you know about a couple awesome deals that we have at HOSSTILE.com. First of all, if you're bulking, if you're getting huge, or if you just need carbs, cluster dextrin is the best carb ingredient on the market. And we have 100% pure cluster dextrin in our CDX product. Right now, if you go to HOSSTILE.com and you buy a CDX, you get a second one free. Just add them both to your cart and then use code BOGOCDX. I'm going to show you the website. This is the page. If you go to supplements, CDX, click on that. It'll bring you here. And then you can pick unflavored or mixed berry. Put 2 in your cart, use code BOGOCDX. You get the second one free. Now, also, we have, if you go to supplements and you go to Pure Calf, if you buy anything and add Pure Calf to your cart, Pure Calf will be free with no code when you check out. Pure Calf right now, buy anything, get a Pure Calf free. Lastly, guys, we have free domestic shipping over $150. So 3 awesome deals right now on the website and the app. So go to hostile.com/RBP or use code RBP for an extra 10%. Support me, support the podcast. And lastly, sign up to the app because we have a lot of new limited flavors, limited clothing coming soon that you guys are going to want to get. The last limited drop sold out in 6 days. So stuff is going to go fast. So make sure you sign up for all the new stuff we have coming out. Thank you guys for the support. Hope you're enjoying the podcast.
Ross, how do you feel about your placing?
Very happy. Very happy. I think
where were you in New York, Ross?
I didn't do it. I think I should have.
You didn't do New York, right? You did Cali and Toronto. That's it.
Yeah, I was actually not even supposed to do any of those shows. I was prepping for Chicago.
Yeah,
I was prepping for Chicago, and then I got bored, and I was like, I want to crank it up.
So Tonio won New York.
What I always do.
So Tonio won New York. Do you kind of kick yourself a little bit? You're like, maybe I could have beat him if I did it.
I haven't even thought about that, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I mean, I don't know if like some people think that kind of like, oh man, I could have done that. I could have won. It doesn't it matter? It doesn't.
I could have done New York. I was just sitting at my fucking house, bored out of my mind, peeled.
Okay. So Mr. Entrepreneur, sitting at home, being bored, watching New York or competing, what's entrepreneurial?
About that,
what
nothing.
you have a business. One of your businesses is pro bodybuilder that is ready, shredded, watching a goddamn show on the video.
Milos giving you shit for not competing.
Oh yeah, I'm serious.
Why didn't I do it?
Yeah.
Why the hell did you not do it?
He's saying bodybuilding is your main business. Why didn't you get off your ass and compete?
Oh, that was a coaching call, man. I listened to Dom on that.
He's gonna get even more mad now. Watch.
I mean, really, I encourage all my guys all the time, compete. It's another chance. You are shredded to the bone.
Yeah. Why don't you call Dom? Call Dom and give him.
Milos. Yeah, Milos.
He's gonna listen to this. Yeah, so Dom, like, how can you pass on that one? I mean, you know
what the difference is?
There was many times that guys really should compete like 5 weeks later, but then they look like, oh, they can pass. So let's do even earlier shows. You're not 100%, but you're good enough. Okay, let's jump into that. Like Flex Wheeler, 2003, he's supposed to do just Arnold Classic, but then he was kind of good enough for the Ironman. They said, "What do you think?" To the hell, let's go. You know, shit. Stuff like that.
He won that show, didn't he?
No, Jay Cutler won that show.
Oh, Jay looked really good that year. Yeah.
Oh my God.
If I didn't have to bring out my back so much before the Olympia, I would do like 2 or 3 more shows for sure. I love it.
Okay, wait, Russ.
I know
I know what he's going to say. I know what he's going to say.
Did I just fucking?
He just walked into a fucking hole.
God damn it.
Hey, Russ, yeah, you're going to really build the back in this next 2 weeks. You know?
Maybe.
That's going to prevent you from putting 1 microgram of a goddamn lats.
I didn't take any creatine this prep, Milos.
Well, you know, imagine if you did.
I know.
Milos, how much?
Milos, you guys starting in the insulin business. Yeah. Ross knows how to do it. Milos is the spokesman.
Entrepreneur. Let's
You're both passionate about it.
Milos, how much muscle do you think Ross can put on his back between now and the Olympia?
Well, if he does this
realistically,
show, you know what? I mean, my theory on that, every workout could be muscle building. You know, so you go to the gym to just stimulate, to feel the muscle, to burn calories. No. If you go with this idea, I need to build something here. So how are you going to build something? Okay, you have to push somewhere you haven't been before. Because if you just do something that you always used to, no, you have to do something exceptional, something new. If it's heavier weight, if it's lower eccentrics, if it's, you know, a longer contraction, is more stretching.
So Milos,
God knows, you know.
Ross seems like the kind of guy who goes all the way with his workouts. So let's assume that he's training exceptionally. How much bigger or heavier do you think?
I think we need to do a little bet. I think we need to have a little.
I think so. A fucking real bodybuilding podcast bet, like we always do. Milos, you gotta shave your head if you get this wrong.
Yeah, no, but if that was if Milos had to shave his head, he would have to be the one to coach him.
No.
He's just not going to say, "Oh, Ross is going to build."
No, he knows
he's going to build 20 pounds.
He knows who his coach is, and he knows Ross's work ethic. He can guess pretty accurately.
Dominique did, and you're the coach yourself, and you're athlete. You guys did a hell of a job to the point that I would like to find out what the hell did you guys do? How did you get so lean? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm impressed. So what the hell did you do?
So you were 220. Let's do this. You were 229 at the show. What do you think, Milos, realistically, Ross could weigh in at the Olympia?
235, 237.
In the same condition.
235, 237.
Are you willing? Is that fair, Ross? There's no bet there to be had.
Dude, really. I'm coming off of a rebound.
Yeah.
And I don't know. After a rebound, the body, I think, is capable of doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
I've never rebounded into a prep.
Yeah.
Like, I think Dom was like, anything is possible here.
Yeah. I think 5 pounds. Look, what do we got here? We got July, August.
It's about 22 weeks.
Yeah, but you have 22 weeks before you start prepping.
No, 11.
No. Yeah, you have 11 weeks.
I'm gonna prep 11 weeks out. Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that's 3 to 6 pounds. 3 to
actual 6. Tissue. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Because I usually tell people, like, if you can put on 1 to 2 pounds of tissue a month, then I think that's pretty accurate.
Okay. Question: Why you didn't use the creatine? Well,
I
it's
was saying creatine. I thought it was the real
know.
bodybuilding
Milos,
podcast.
I swear, Milos, I'm just having you on the podcast.
I catched it. I'm not one of those to brush it off. Look, I respect what you did. I'm amazed. I didn't even recognize you. So your conditioning was phenomenal. Your improvements are great. But now when I hear I didn't use the creatine,
He's joking.
Did you use any protein?
He's joking. Milos,
He's joking.
He's joking.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Are we talking about creatine now, or are we talking about insulin?
He's just joking. He's not talking about anything. He's just making a dumb. He was making a dumb joke. You guys, it's just lost in translation.
Yeah, I didn't catch it.
Okay, I want to take a look at this because it's important. Roman, you've made some big changes, dude. I want to know what you're doing because I've noticed a couple things. Your posing is different. Your confidence seems different. Your diet seems totally different. I don't know if your training is different, but your body looks more full, bigger. Your back looks better. Like you've made a ton of changes. I'm going to show people what I'm talking about. So more drugs. Is that what you just said? This is 3 weeks out. I like the way you're posing now. It's like, it's very different.
Oh, wait. Okay. Can we go in the front of your legs first? Just speaking loudly. Okay. Wait. Stop there. Okay. V-taper legs, shoulder width. Unbelievable. Can you do anything with these arms so you don't like ride the chopper? You know,
you mean bring him down more?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make it aesthetic.
Yeah, your fists are too high up.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, like
no problem.
Almost. So you would look. You are aesthetic. So wait. Stop right there. Stop right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at the upper stomach. This is what I'm talking about. Blow out, glue it to the spine.
Well, can I make a suggestion too, since we're picking away at Roman?
Yeah, please.
This back shoulder here, I feel like you should be pushing it out further.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're losing a lot of your width because this shoulder's not being pushed out.
Yep.
So I feel like you need to lead this shoulder as far out as you can.
Okay.
So what do you want to show, Roman, in this pose? What do you want to show? Big, wide upstairs and small downstairs, right? So you have to create the illusion, cover more space. So bring the shoulder, chest, shoulder, arm, and then abs into the picture. You have a great abs. So this pose also can look magnificent with the Ross flat abs when he does it. Or
also
Ian does it.
Also, Roman, if you step this front foot, step it forward like an inch or two. That way I can see the back hamstring. It'll create a illusion of like thicker legs.
Okay.
So here for me, you don't look as big as you actually are.
Yeah, but that's because those couple things, right? Like if he steps this leg forward just a couple inches and he moves this shoulder forward a couple inches, the physique looks totally different.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the next. I like the way you're doing your back now. Your back looks better this way.
Look at the legs. Look at the hamstring.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Conditioning's gonna be fucking great. See that right there?
Wait. Okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah, as good as it gets.
Boom. That's good.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Your posing is who did you work with for posing? You changed things.
Myself.
You just decided to make some changes?
Yeah.
See, I do have something to say about this one though.
Okay.
You feel like your shoulders are like rotated back too far. You're almost losing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I should probably rotate them forward and also point my elbows a little bit forward, right?
Yeah. Because I feel like because your shoulders are rotated so far back, you're actually losing some width. Milos, would you agree with that, or do you think?
Yeah. I mean, legs, I love it. Waist, I love it. Yeah, you're leaning a little bit too much back, and look, every time you push elbows forward, your lats are gonna come out more. Always think of covering more space behind. So whatever it takes. But look at shoulders here and shoulders here. Shoulders here, the shoulders here. So if you do this, you're never gonna be as wide as if you're here, right?
Yeah.
You have to work your ankles. Another thing, frontal biceps. why this? Why this? Why don't open?
Because I think when I open up, I feel like my arms look too shallow.
No,
So
but you'll look bigger.
yeah, this is that Arnold in the pumping Iron Man. He told this guy, "Don't be small, be big," right?
Yeah.
So kinda you do that thing. Look, Gustavo Badal used to do that thing. I watch him, and then he does this, and you couldn't even see it. Like open up, and then he open up. It's like one of the best arms you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like just 2 inches. So I don't know if it's gonna look good, but right away you go into that angle instead of trying to open up a little bit, maybe raise the biceps a little bit, and play with it. Take your time, and then you're gonna freeze the video where it looks the best.
Yeah.
But old dog doesn't learn a new tricks. You just keep going into this thing. You know, go a little bit differently. Okay, do the front of biceps. Fucking legs are unbelievable.
The fucking hamstrings. Jesus.
Holy shit.
Okay, I got some. Okay.
Milos
Yeah, you got like probably 15 things in the upper body.
No. The only thing
bicep, dude.
Okay,
Jesus Christ.
The only thing I really think, Roman, is I feel like this shoulder is scrunched up and it should be pushed down and out. And then the second thing is I feel like your wrists and hand are too high. You should bring this down a bit. So if you if you bring your hand and arm down and you bring this shoulder down and out, it'll make this whole upper body section seem bigger. And you'll also show your waist taper that goes into this massive leg.
And I probably should twist more, like on the side, relaxed, right?
What do you mean?
Like
no,
twist.
Yeah. Once this shoulder goes down and out, you could probably twist a little bit more and then bring this down to show your intercostals.
Okay.
And then this whole pose will look different because right now it all looks scrunched together.
Yeah.
Are you trying to be as big here as possible, or you're doing this?
Yeah, there's no arm.
I'm trying to be big. Trying.
No, for me here, it doesn't look like you're expanding the chest and showing the thickness of the chest. It looks like you're putting it back and even crunch here. You're doing this kind of.
Yeah, you almost want more arch in your back to push your chest outwards.
Okay, that's what I'm actually trying to do.
What is that Tom doing over there?
He is just
you have to pay attention to details. You see that?
What'd you say, Ross?
He's just eating everyone up today.
What, me?
That's good.
No, I'm just looking. When I watch my old videos, I'm so pissed off. I would smack myself if I could go back in time. Like, what the fuck? I made so many mistakes. I'm so pissed off. You know why? Because I didn't pay attention to those little details. You know, so now you see, Fouad catch 3-4 things right away. Just a little bit here, shoulder here, you know, waist, leg, whatever, right? So when you go on that stage, you have to present yourself at your absolute maximum best. So details. You were holding it like this. Does this look good? You know, this time. I mean, people don't think of these things, right? Grab the wrist so you can bicep curl here, right? So you can be powerful. This arm, you don't make the hole here, you know, pull it in, but chest up, you know, make yourself big.
You know what I like about, sorry, Milos, Ross, you know what I like about Milos is he's very, very honest, but even though it's harsh sometimes, it's like you can tell it comes from a place of caring.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's like other people could say what he's saying. It doesn't come off the same way. I've learned that about Milos. When he says stuff, it comes off as a place of like genuinely trying to help you be better.
You know, look at me. I'm jumping off my seat. You know, I'm not competing, but I want to give you a piece of advice. And look, it's easy to give compliments. Fuck that shit. Like, oh, you look great. You look great. You look great. Well, how about constructive criticism?
Look at this, Milo. Look at these glutes.
I always seen that one. This is craziest. But look at the left lateralis of quadriceps. You have to, you know, bend the knee a little bit and externally rotate it to create the more sphere to your legs.
I was going to say that too. I was going to say,
and even the right leg, your feet are like this. It should be like duck feet. You like.
So just so I can explain a little bit what Milos is trying to say.
Yeah,
I feel like a little bit more gap between the legs, the toe pointed out, and then over here, this knee should be rotated out, and the heel should be rotated in. That will show more of the quad, but still give you the hamstring and all the glute, right? But you're going to create you want your legs to have this effect, right? And when you put your toes straight, they just look like this. But if you turn your toes out, your quads will give them this appearance, right? So you want to turn your toes a little bit outwards and turn the knees a little bit outwards. And then if we go to the top, the one thing I love that you're doing is I noticed you're pushing your spine back, which is making your lats look wider and thicker.
Yeah.
You never did that before. Before, you used to pull your spine inward, and it made your lats almost disappear a little bit.
You know, the funny thing is, I used to do that in the past, like this.
Yeah.
And then everyone told me over here, you got to do it. You got to do it differently. You got to do it like that. And I did it, right?
What, are you talking about your back or your legs?
My back.
Yeah.
So I changed my back pose.
Yeah.
And then it looked like shit on stage.
Yeah.
So I switched it back to the way I was doing it before.
Dude, this looks way better
because everyone is saying like, "Oh, great, how you changed."
Because it's almost like you're taking your erectors and you're pushing them out, and that's making your lats look thick and full from the bottom, which is the opposite of what you were doing before, and it looks way better. The only other thing I would say to make this perfect, and I could be wrong about that. No, I would just say like I personally like when the elbows are pointed up just a little bit. It's not as flat across. There's like a little bit of an angle, but that's just being nitpicky.
And externally rotate a little bit because the biceps is not.
The shoulder, right? The shoulders like back.
Yeah. You can pull this back.
Okay, when I look at your legs right now, right, as impressive as striated glutes and tie-in and all this shit and thin skin, front view of the legs were ridiculous. Your sweep was going all over the place, right? So you didn't show me from this angle. And just like Fouad said, if you angle feet a little bit more. Another thing, look at this left calf. I know that if you lock it up, that calf would look ridiculous. Your leg is completely straight. So you should bend the knee just enough so you can squeeze the hamstring.
Well,
hamstring's not happening.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of detail here for not.
That's just because that's when there's color on it. You can see all the fibers in the hamstring.
Yeah. Let's see the lat spread. Yeah, see how you just push the center of your back out? Yeah, that's better, man.
And that's it. I'm sorry.
It's fucking incredible. What do you mean I'm sorry? It's incredible. Dude, you're
posing. No, I skipped the side tricep and the abs and thigh.
How dare you?
Okay, so I've also noticed your diet is different because you don't look nearly as like depleted. So what finally convinced you to eat more or train less? What are you doing? Are you eating more or training less or both?
I'm just eating more.
You're still training more. You're still training twice a day and doing like crazy volume?
Yes.
Why don't you just train less so you don't have to fucking eat 8,000 calories a day?
I know what Milos is going to say.
Yeah, when I was
add insulin.
When I was coaching him, listen. When I was coaching him initially, he was training 3 times a day.
No.
Yeah, tell him 3 times a day. So it's like, maybe you should cut down.
You should back off a little bit,
yeah. And 1,000 grams of carbs, and this guy cannot eat enough.
Roman, have you ever tried to train once a day?
Yeah, it was so fucking boring.
You're just an addict. You're like, I have to chronically be in the gym all the time. I don't know. I just fuck more or something. You use your time.
Roman, I got a question for you.
Put the app.
What is your diet? Like how many meals? What's your meal setup when you do 2-a-days?
I do a breakfast, a pre-workout, an intra-workout drink, post-workout meal, then 2 meals, then the pre-intra stuff again, and then 2 meals before I go to bed.
Okay.
And the whole thing with the creatine.
So what show is it you're doing that you're getting ready for?
Next Sunday in Alicante, Spain.
You're only a week out right now?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, Roman.
And then 3 weeks later in Portugal.
Okay.
And then probably another 2 weeks later or so in Spain again. And then there's a couple more shows close by that I can all.
So you're just gonna do all of them?
I don't know yet. I don't know about all of them.
Well, if you win, you're gonna shut it down for the Olympia, right?
No, my sponsor pays me to go to the show. So my sponsor pays the trip. So if I can make money, I'm gonna take the money.
So if you can win all 5 of them, you're just gonna take all the money.
I counted. So theoretically, that's a theoretically, okay? That's for all the fans in Germany. Because last year I said I only did 5 shows, and I said I was gonna do 8, and everyone hated me for it. Yeah.
Fucking asshole!
So,
you're lazy. You only did 5 shows.
Yes. So theoretically, I think including the Olympia, there's 11 shows within 2 or 3 hours flight distance from here.
Are you gonna do all of them
this year? I would like to do all of them.
Don't commit, just in case.
Exactly. Yeah. But right now, I'm only booked in for 2 shows. Depending on how those go, the more likely I am to do the other, to keep going. Because actually, I get better from show to show. Because I always catch a good rebound, and I look fuller.
Yeah.
The more shows I do.
Well, you learn things from each show too to do to the next show. Ross, I have one question. I want to do some questions, but I have one question before we go because I feel like it's really important that I ask it. How do you? I've always been under one of my favorite sayings: if you chase 2 rabbits, you lose both. How do you? Because I always felt like, look, if you're a bodybuilder, you're a fucking bodybuilder. It's hard to do like this thing that we do and then do something else that's also a big deal. But you seem to be doing a whole bunch of shit all at once and making it all work. So how are you doing all this and still being successful at each thing?
Oh man, I am blessed. I have an amazing team that does everything for me in the background. So
okay.
My job is to just create things.
So you're like,
but you didn't start having the team.
No.
Yeah, but he also wasn't bodybuilding as seriously as you are now. I could say that too, right? Yeah.
So when I first hired Dom, I was trying to do both, and it was extremely hard. That was 5 years ago. So it took me about 4 years to get where I am. Like I have 2-3 full staffs that work, around the clock. I have 2 partners that work in California and Minnesota that put my ideas to life, and that's how I get it done.
Yeah, I can see that because I'm not there yet, but I'm almost in an in-between phase where like I'm the ideas guy, but I'm also still working. But yeah, you would have to be just the ideas guy to be able to bodybuild.
That's all I'm doing. Yep. All ideas and marketing.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Let's do some questions.
Wait, guys, please.
Yes, sir.
I have to bow out because I got to go to sleep in an hour, and I still have to take my shots and cook some rice and and shower. So I would like to bow out.
How about that sex app? Are you still on?
We already got that covered.
You already checked that off today?
Yeah.
Roman, I appreciate you coming on a week out, man. Good luck next week. And
last time I was on during the press conference during the athlete
I remember that. And they were doing the press conference in the background and you were on your phone. Well, listen, I won't bug you at the press conference this time, but we'll have you on after we'll have you on after the show and we'll talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, you can have me on before the show.
Okay, maybe at the press conference again. You can phone in.
Yeah, good luck,
so,
man.
Milos, thank you. Ross, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, sir. Good luck this weekend.
Congratulations again. And Fouad, thanks for having me.
Love you, Roman. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, we're down to 3. Okay, guys, you want to do some questions before we go? Or Ross, are you still good for time?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. We'll knock out some important questions.
We're gonna get some that confuse the fuck out of Milos.
Why? Why?
Because he was so confused about the creatine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just literally taking what
You're
you
just a very literal thinker. Yeah. Okay. The it says, do you regret not doing the Olympias you qualified for? That's obviously for me, but Milos, did you ever, I should probably already know the answer to this, but did you ever qualify for the Olympia and not go?
3 times.
Did really?
Yeah, I qualified 10 years in a row. So 95 and 96, I was qualified, but that was the time when they were pushing Mass Monsters.
Yeah.
And I did all the other shows except I didn't go to European Grand Prix Tour either, which I regretted because that's usually immediately after the Olympia. So 95 and 96, I chose to pass. Then 97, I won the Canada, the second night of the champions. So I figured, you know, why not? So I came back 97 to compete. But biggest regret is 2000. I was qualified, but I had that Synthol accident, right? I was in a hospital.
Yeah.
And Wayne D'Amelia told me I need the medical clearance, and they would not let me. And I was ready. You know, that's one of those things.
Any medical clearance?
For the show, I said,
since when is that a thing?
What?
They don't. Since when is that a thing? Like, they don't do medical clearances for bodybuilders. If they did medical,
I was denied the opportunity.
Listen, if they
no one would pass.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that if they did medical clearance for bodybuilders, everyone would be like, "No, you got to go home." You can't.
I mean, I didn't really even knew what it means, like a medical clearance. Like, what I was supposed to go to the doctor and say, "Am I medically fit to compete?" But I just took it because I was hospitalized. I was supposed to go for a Wheeler appearance. There was a guest posing, you know, whatever, and. Night before, I was shooting my tricep, right?
I remember.
That thing happened. So I didn't go for the appearance. And I guess combined together, they just told me then you can't compete, which I figured, like, who cares? You know, I'm not going to, but I regret it big time.
Yeah. So do you regret any of the Olympias you didn't do? Do you wish you did all of them?
I wish I did all of them. You know, it's experience. Just like I would be harsh on a Ross or a Roman. If you have a competition, why don't you compete? And I was ready, you know, but I figure the best I ever placed was 10th, and 95, 96, again, this is what I could shoot for, 10th place. Or what I did, I organized European guest posing tour, and I would go to like 11 different countries. I made considerably more money being in shape posing than I would be competing. So
yeah.
You know, even think about it. You go to European Grand Prix Tour, like I did with Ronnie and Flex and Kevin and Dexter and Nasser shit. So if I squeaked in a 5th place, I get $1,000.
Yeah.
You think much more for guest posing.
Milos, do you think if you competed less, you would have been able to put on the size you needed?
I don't think so. I was happy. Look, you said that yourself, that you like yourself. Smaller version, more aesthetic version than blow up version. So I like my version 97. I was pleased. And 98, I did very similar. But then I lost the Matrix contract. I didn't have much money. And then I placed again, you know, nowhere at the Mr. Olympia. So 99, I said, okay, you want size, I'll give you size. And that's when from 98 Olympia to 99 Ironman and Nano Classic. I don't know if that was considerable difference. That was kind of Nasser Al-Sambari difference from 94 to 95. I went full on, you know, twice a day training with the creatine and all this shit, right? So I blew up. And look at one of the tagged photos of me on my Instagram is British Grand Prix. I was huge.
Okay, but let me ask you. So
I hated it.
Okay, I know. And if I could pick my favorite version of myself, it would be the smaller version, but we are in a competition. And I'm sure Ross may reach that point one day too, where he's like, man, I really loved the way I looked at 230, but it's the name of the game is winning. So if you have to be 245, you have to be 245. So what I'm saying to you is, do you ever look back and think, you know, maybe in 93 or 94, if I had stopped competing 8 times a year and got bigger, I would have had a more successful, not that your career wasn't successful anyway, but like maybe you would have been top 6 at the Olympia or something like that.
here, perfect timing. 93, I competed in all the shows.
Yeah.
94, I took a whole year off to go to the Miss Olympia. So I did that. And I didn't put any size, and just my drive was not the same. I'm not an off-season type of guy.
Yeah, you need to compete to have the motivation.
Yeah. And the rebound phase, like Ross, right? Yeah. So right now he has 20 weeks, it's so much time. His starting position, he's super lean, so he doesn't need to burn fat anymore. So from now until the Olympia, okay, he planned 11 weeks, off season kind of, and then 11 weeks, I would just I have a 22 weeks. I'm just not going to let the body fat accumulate, but I'm going to try to push the limit, just get bigger as much. Just keep the body fat down. Don't allow body fat to accumulate. Why would you? That excuse, eat big, I need calories. We all need nutrients. I mean, and I know there's probably...
I don't know, Milos. You're approaching my territory here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it.
No, not a good spot.
No, that's perfect.
No,
perfect.
because
I'm in your territory.
No, because you're contradicting yourself.
How?
Is that it? All right.
Okay, can you stay on after you stop?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay. Russ,
I have to win the debate.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Milos, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, guys.
Okay, guys, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.